Howdy, welcome to NGS Season 9. Here we are in Division A East with Insomnia hosting the Pixie Dusters. Why is my map screen that jacked up? Stoic, did you write down the stuff? Because that's not
The
what this
map
is supposed to.
fans?
Yeah, because if you look at
Yep.
this, I have two maps left available right now. And that's not right. All right. So we have Battlefield and Cursed Band on the top. Braxis and Tomb,
That is correct.
and we're going to Volskaya, picked by Pixie Dusters. Glad we could fix that as present content. Someone messed up, and I don't know who it was. However, I am very happy to announce that we have a wonderful match coming up for you guys with Insomnia versus Pixie Dusters. Stoic, how are you doing, friend?
I'm doing great. I'm excited. It's going to be a good match tonight here in A East.
A East. Quick little note. Very different, very large difference in power rankings between these two teams, but it's a wonderful opportunity for one of the teams to kind of regain some ground in the field, and we'll just watch how the match goes for that. And there goes my dog.
Yeah. Pixie Dusters, they're coming off of 2 losses and Insomnia off of 2 wins, so they're looking for the upset here. As both teams are on Volskaya, which neither team has played yet this season, so it'll be their first showing.
That's interesting.
For both.
I would also like to point out the what I'm gonna call the irony of, as soon as we are ready to go live and start doing NGS matches, that's when my entire household decides to join the living and my dog starts barking like a mad lad. But it is Sylvana, she is the Dark Lady, so we'll give her a pass. That guy, however, he's nice and happy, chilling up there behind me. So,
Barking like a mad lab, even.
like a mad lab. Yes. Ha, I see.
I know
see what you
Sylvanas
did
is not
there.
a lab.
Right, but the joke's still there.
Yeah, the joke's still there. Thanks.
We are now waiting on both teams to be readied up. Oh, I do kind of see the synergy on Pixie Dusters.
Yep. Just waiting for home team to be ready. They're getting hyped up by the fans right now.
Yeah, absolutely. All of them. Let me, we already know a few things that we're gonna be looking at ahead of time, so let me get the poll ready, because I am trying to be just that prepared. Sorry for that little sound blip that came in with that.
A little bit of a note about these two teams, as Taco sets up a poll, is Pixie Dusters is a totally new team. All these players new to NGS, while Insomnia is coming back from the last time they played together was Season 6. So they came back, and they came back strong. We'll see if they can keep that up here in this week number 3 in their match against Pixie Dusters. Insomnia is going to start out with the bands as they wait down this clock for us here.
Yep, and while we're running those bands, there is a fun, fresh poll in the chat. It has been way too long since I've been able to get a haircut. Will I be able to get a haircut by the end of next week? And then we'll do another poll looking at these drafts. Zool, a pretty standard band coming out of Insomnia, not wanting to deal with him and his presence. Pretty solid band. I'm gonna say yes because I'm hopeful.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, as week 1 moved into week 2, Johanna has now taken Zool as the most popular player band hero in the Nexus.
I believe
Zool
it.
Still at a strong second place though, with
The Zool
87%.
nerfs, the Zool nerfs being a little bit of help, but still the high level teams that we've talked to haven't been a big fan of the Zool nerfs. Still want to get rid of him. And it definitely makes sense that Joanna is leading the pack now. Joanna, ETC, Garage, the 3 most common tanks I've seen so far in NGS. Speaking of, there goes the former War Chief into the ban zone.
Yeah. Medivh ban coming out for Pixie Dusters. Probably a respect ban to Solian's Medivh play. So they've done their scouting, obviously. And a Mephisto ban.
Mephisto also a really popular hero this season. How popular, Stoic?
Mephisto doesn't even make the top 10.
Really?
Yeah, Mephisto sits right now at a 28% popularity. Beneath heroes like Mal'Ganis and even Rhaegar.
Is that just pick ban or?
That is pick ban, yep.
That is pick ban.
He has a pretty high win percent at 57.1.
Where does he sit among mages? There's the Joanna. Joanna coming out mages. For as the opening tank for Insomnia. And Jaina and Rhaegar, first and second picks for Pixie Dusters. Looking to see a hard engage coming out from both teams so far based off of these picks. Sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot there.
No, it's good. Put me on the spot with stats. I love it. Mephisto is 4th place behind Kael'thas, Li Ming, and Jaina in that order.
Okay, yeah. Kael'thas, really.
Kael'thas number 1 with a 55% popularity.
I was gonna say, so keeping you up on the spot with the stats, what is the pick to ban ratio on KT? Tyrande and Thrall coming out. Interesting. I don't know that Kael'thas, I like that.
Pick 63, ban 92 games so far.
Huh. And Tassadar recently coming off of a rework, a solid pick overall. We haven't seen him a whole lot. He's still sitting in a weird place, but he did get a recent buff out of that last set of patch notes. So a decent ban, and those walls can definitely interrupt the type of bloodlust engage that Rhaegar provides. And Mal'Ganis also being banned out of Insomnia, trying to keep that very CC heavy tank away. Speaking of Sylvanas' barking, I have good news from Twitch. Those emotes have been approved. Yrel and Greymane coming out as picks. Greymane Jaina, really solid engage, really solid damage, and Yrel able to help disrupt the enemy team. Probably going to be on peel duty more than engage, although she might be able to isolate someone like the Tyrande.
Yeah, she's a stomper.
My Evan,
she can mess it up.
My Evan Li Ming coming out as well, looking for that umbral bind into the condemn. Very disruptive coming from my Evan. Joanna. Thrall going to come in with probably an earthquake here, I would say. And so that makes this look like a Calamity Li Ming here on Volskaya Foundry to finish off the burst damage from Insomnia. ETC being picked up as a tank for Pixie Dusters. That'll round out the draft. And as the poll closes, 80% think I will be able to get a haircut. I hope they're right. We will move on to the draft.
Battle Puppy staying true to his or her name on the Rhaegar.
Yeah, absolutely. There's nothing quite like a good Battle Puppy. When you hear the cry, the howl of the wolf, you just can't help but go. And Battle Puppy's ready. So Stoic, looking at this draft, what do you like?
Yep. I think the red team has got a really strong team. I think to take down the A West powerhouse of that is Insomnia. I think that Pixie Dusters has really got themselves a draft that can make this happen. It'll be on execution for them. They've got some great tools. Can they run it down and make it work?
Yeah,
Nsomnia has an enormous amount of CC.
Yes, but so does, ETC and Yrel, Jaina, that's a lot of CC as well. Friendship, thank you for the follow. Looks like we're about done loading in. Here we go into Volskaya Foundry. And you know, I think I like Pixie Duster's draft as well. So speaking of Pixie Duster's draft, we have Corey on Jaina, Brosaya on Urel, Obsidian Mind on ETC, Paper Tanks on the Greymane, and Battle Puppy bringing it in with the Rhaegar. What are we looking at on Nsomnia, Stoic?
We have French playing Li Ming, Solian playing Maiev, Logicalia playing Johanna, V Demon on Thrall, and Psycho on Tyrande.
All right, and the timer has finished ticking. Here we go into the middle lane. Both teams coming in with the 5-man. Urel starting to peel off. Might be going down to the bottom lane for that early soak. Looking for that jump and engage, possibly. And let's see if she makes a decision. Starting that Avenging Wrath for the leap. They say that it gives you wings. Jumps in on the Li Ming, knocks her into the lane. Not really towards anybody else on the team. Condemn coming out from the Joanna. Jaina looking low as Maiev gets disrupted down onto the point. Not active, but still a good place of reference. And both teams looking really banged up, but not too worse for the wear. No one really dies, and teams dispersing into the lanes for soak. Lots of damage went out early on. 2,600, more so now with the Maiev up in the top lane, but almost 3,000 damage from several heroes in that first little engage with no kill.
Yeah, I think that the red team could have found a kill onto Maiev if the Jaina hadn't been so low. She wasn't able to use her abilities there for fear of getting the counter engage, but she had all of her abilities on cooldown when that Maiev was low health.
Holding on to cooldown is usually a good idea. If you're the ETC, if you're the Jaina, you're losing damage that way.
Yep. Both teams opting to get their camp right away as they spawn here at the 1 minute mark.
Yep, grabbing these turret camps. We'll see who has the better toy collection come the first objective. Probably looking to get an early biotic emitter probably as well, but you don't want to go in on the support camp while the entire team is up.
Yep, both teams just establishing their mid-top rotation as Maiev jumps in with a big Umbro bind and Tyrande falls in with a stun.
That Condemn, huge to follow it up. Maiev finishing off the Jaina as Battle Puppy and Paper Tanks do run out, keeping their lives. And it looks like the biotic emitter is going to go to Nsomnia. First blood, Nsomnia, 1-0. And Pixie Dusters are trying to get an invade onto this biotic emitter camp. A good slide and looking for the face melt from the ETC. There it is, but the turret dropped for Nsomnia. That's going to hurt them going into the objective, but so will losing heroes. ETC goes down to the Li Ming, same but different. And 2-0 Nsomnia. Both turrets dropped. Never mind. Advantage still Nsomnia going into this first control point.
Important to note that Urel had rotated up for that fight, so has lost a little bit of soak here in the bottom lane.
Yeah, they are almost a full level behind at this point. Well, now about half a level. That, you know, half rounds up. That's almost, right? That counts. As we do see the siege camps come out for both teams. And we'll see which team decides to give theirs the advantage up in the top lane.
Yep, Jaina's looking like she wants to hang out here and help clear that to give them an advantage during this first objective.
Yeah, absolutely. Pixie Duster's getting some clear first while giving the control point to Nsomnia. Nsomnia scaring Urel away, and looks like Pixie Dusters are trying to make their move, but they are still very spread out. Maiev goes up top to clear. This is Pixie Duster's opportunity to engage. As my dog still howls in the background. She's cheering for the Battle Puppy, clearly, as ETC gets stunned on the point, and both teams now off the point, 40% to Nsomnia. And the poll does come in. Chat does believe Nsomnia has the better draft. Let's see if that holds.
Both teams going to look to get their second round of turrets. Oh, as I say that, Nsomnia is actually going to go get it. Okay.
Volskaya Industry Toy Company coming into play here. And as we check out the progress on these quests, 7 out of 15, 7 out of 10 rather, on the Umbral Bind catch, and 13 globes for Jaina. And we now have the fight on the point. The Gadim goes out. Battle Puppy going down, not able to get his pads moving to get out of there. ETC sliding away, just beating up the turret now. They're not able to engage without their healer. Urel chasing out the Thralder with the help of Jaina. Joanna getting knocked back. Maiev as well, diving in. Li Ming to finish off the ETC, and they secure the Tree Glove Protector, and they're going to push this first objective right at 5 minutes.
Yeah. Nsomnia finding a couple of clutch kills when it matters to make this first objective look easy for him.
Yeah, it seemed to really stall out at first, but their percentage just kind of sneaked in there once they got control back. And I think Pixie Dusters maybe it felt a little rushed in trying to get that engage, and Nsomnia handled it really well.
Yeah, and now we're actually looking at that full level lead here.
Yes, sir.
As Nsomnia's looking to get 10.
Yeah, Pixie Dusters trying to knock down that Trailer Protector as they take out Tyrande first, trying to knock out the Protector before Nsomnia hits level 10 to get those heroics, which would be very helpful in their push and very detrimental to the defense of Pixie Dusters. They do take out that Protector. Now they're looking to get XP as well so they can get their heroics online. Thrall soaking in the bottom lane. Big progress for them. Securing that level advantage, and not a whole lot of minions left for that XP. ETC might be able to finish up getting that level 10. I think passive experience is going to be what ticks it over. There it is, level 10 heroics. Let's go ahead and run down Nsomnia. Starfall, nothing chosen yet for the Thrall. Probably waiting to see if he wants that clutch Sunder or if he's just going to go with the Earthquake for the steady fight. Blessed Shield on Joanna, Warden's Cage from the Maiev, and Wave of Force on the Li Ming. I've seen a little bit more Disintegrate since the patch, but I think Wave of Force is still the more popular pick. Sundering is picked up for the Thrall out of Pixie Dusters if they don't do a hard engage right here. We see ETC go in. He's going to face melt out. The Water Elemental is trying to get some damage out. Look for a big mosh, but ETC's going to go down. The Warden's Cage catches everybody. The entire Pixie Dusters team falling low as Maiev just starts wreaking havoc. Li Ming getting the resets and the finishes. Thrall finishes off the Jaina. Urel trying to get out of there. Brosaya with the jump takes an extra lump from the Arcane Orb and then is able to escape. 3-for-0 exchange for Nsomnia. That's 7-1 on the kill count now, and they're going to safely be able to take this turret camp. We do see the mosh pit come from the ETC, Water Elemental, Bloodlust, Ardent Defender, and Cursed Bullet for Pixie Dusters. I'm sorry, Stoic, you were saying?
That's a spicy circle. That's what I was curious if they were going to go for the Starfall inside the Warden's Cage, and then to get the extra Warden Cage proc with the Sundering.
Yeah,
there's a lot of bouncing around and a lot of things falling down.
Absolutely. Their dream engage is all on the Warden's Cage.
Yeah.
We do see Pixie Dusters also trying to invade on the turret camp, but they're not going to be able to because Nsomnia pushing them out. We see the Water Elemental go out again. The Ardent Defender is still been on cooldown for a while. I forgot that's a 2-minute cooldown. And we're still waiting on Bloodlust to come up. Warden's Cage also sitting with the long cooldown. So both teams probably trying to save everything up for this next objective, which should be, there it is, there's the timer, starting soon, he was going to say. So seeing how these fights have gone so far, what do you think Pixie Dusters is looking for now?
I think Pixie Dusters, first of all, they need to make sure they get this 13 talent tier, but they got to find...
There's the Fingers of Frost for Jaina.
Excellent pickup for her. That'll be helpful in case these fights go sour again.
Yep, so keep going, I'm sorry.
No, I think that...
As we see Thrall getting caught out over by the turret camps, the 5v1 onto the Thrall. The Biotic Emitter does go down. Jaina looking low after getting beat up back by the Thrall, who's able to self-heal. Maiev with the engage on the Shadow. Umbral Bind pulls the Rhaegar and the Cow in for Li Ming to finish off. Greymane gonna fall as well. Someone call PETA. Li Ming just took out all the animals except for the goat on Team Pixie Dusters. That woman needs to be behind bars.
Yeah, I think for me I think they need to find that hard CC. That
oh, they found it. Maiev has it.
That's true. I'm saying Pixie Dusters need to make sure that they can get these characters locked down. The Maiev, the Li Ming, they have that kind of mobility. but the roots and the slows and the stuns are just so much from Insomnia that we need to see a strong lockdown so that Jaina and Greymane can really dish out their damage here.
Absolutely. I think I would like to see Jaina actually at this point being a hero that can utilize the Bloodlust just a little bit more. Almost someone like the Mephisto who can, with Shard of Hate, can start getting those cooldowns back up a little bit faster with that extra attack speed. Jaina, not a bad pick with the slows, helping the Greymane finish for sure. I'd like to see some more synergy on that Bloodlust. As Warden's Cage and Starfall goes out, there's that spicy circle that you were talking about. A big Sunder comes out, disrupts the entire Pixie Dusters, but Maiev, Li Ming, and Joanna gonna fall instead. Way to turn it around. Pixie Dusters trying to finish off the Tyrande. Not gonna work. 2 heroes on Pixie Dusters at 100 or less health. Wow, way to get out from them. The Chain Heal's going out for the Rhaegar. But they're not going to go contest the point yet. They have a 5v2 advantage. They pick up the Biotic Emitter, looking to engage on the Thrall and the Tyrande. Thrall sitting on the corner, ready to get out, but not mounted for some reason. And he's going to run off. Urel chasing him off. That is one scary goat after all. Have you seen that hammer? And Jaina getting some clear in the mid lane. And it looks like, just like that, Pixie Dusters is back in this. They are about to be a talent down, however.
Yeah. I think they found the CC. They waited till the Warden's Cage was out. ETC found a great mosh on the edge there. And they were able to turn that around as the blue heroes were standing around having a party.
Yeah, quick note, Greymane did go steal the turret camp, so he's coming up with an extra toy for his team. It might be able to make the difference in the talent tier, the best tiers. And we'll see if they try to engage on this point. But it looks like they're just going to go ahead and give it, try to get that soak back. We almost never see a talent tier differential fight. And that's going to continue right here. They're just going to get all the toys for all the good little girls and boys. Speaking of which, Jaina needs to come pick up this turret from the Greymane. And the Trigger Protector marching down to the mid fort. ETC all by himself. Here comes the rest of his team. And they're going to try to wear down this, this Trigger Protector nice and easy. We got some fans in the chat room for Insomnia. Always good to hear it. Keep cheering for your guys. Unfortunately, Tracer is banned, however, until the end of next week. But keep cheering for your favorite players. I love it.
Triglav makes short work at the mid fort and easily clears this bottom wall. We'll see if they look to get that bottom fort or if they just back away to safety, as the red team is looking to be very aggressive here.
Yeah, this level 16 Triglav Protector is pretty beefy at 12 minutes in. Look, they're looking to take it down and maybe catch the Maiev after the Triglav blows up. There's a slight knockback to it to give the cockpit occupants a little bit of time to get out. But I would have not been surprised had ETC tried to get an engage off it. There goes Urel after Greymane rooted and stunned and held down, able to get to safety though. It looked like he tried to sit, but it didn't quite work. Maiev finishing her Umbral Bind quest, and Greymane does fall to the Starfall, as does Rhaegar and ETC. And apparently, Pixie Dusters just did not draft cute enough heroes, as the ladies of Team Insomnia are still going after all.
That's true. And you know what? That big item advantage that Pixie Dust had worked to get is all lost, as both those turrets are dropped and that healing camp is stolen. And
it just didn't, the turrets didn't bring enough damage to bring down Insomnia, and part of that might be the 2-level lead, especially pushing into that fort. All 3 forts are now gone for Pixie Dusters, so really good map control from Insomnia, and they're looking to hold on to it as they keep rotating together. They're going to grab that support camp as well for another batch of the Biotic Emitter. And Pixie Dusters still looking for a way to hypershift back into this game.
Yep, Johanna giving a little spray there, knowing we're watching. As
yes,
the moves to get their camp.
Cup O noodles, best done in the mic. Well, no, not in the microwave. Don't put styrofoam in the microwave. Although it's really not as bad as you've been told. Use a kettle.
Thank you, Taco, for the life tips.
Did you say wife tips?
Yes, that's what I said.
Oh, okay. Well, I get tips from my wife too. She thinks I do a good job and she gives me money for it. So, wife tips. There's a condemned
a little bit
catching the Urel.
Yeah, she was chasing Psycho, but little did she know that the whole team was coming to go punish her for that.
Yeah, she out all alone on her own, looking for an opportunity, but no team to back her up. Good punishment coming out of Nsomnia for that positioning. Battle Puppy going to fall as well. It does get the Bloodlust off, but I don't think anyone was close enough to actually get the benefit of it. And Greymane getting caught on his way back into his base. He does make it after getting knocked around. And Nsomnia looking for a power grab here right before this next control point unlocks.
Ooh, Tyrande is just abusing that hearth time for Greymane here, as she interrupts him twice. And that is 5 siege shooters up in the top lane and a catapult. A lot of threat.
Lots of pressure coming out. Big, and all of it outranges the keep, so they have to get a full response up here to prevent that keep from falling, as Nsomnia does rotate down to this next objective. And it looks like they'll be able to take it quite handily. They have a 2-level lead, including the Storm talent tier, the best talent tier of all talent tiers. Salty, sweet tiers. But Pixie Dusters, looking to just scrape back in on the XP. And really at this point just have to capitalize off of a mistake.
Yep. They are capable of doing it. We've watched them before. They're going to look for somebody out of position. If they can get that pick, I think they can even things up right here. Playing pretty cautious, looking to get those 20s. They don't have too much time because this protector will be here by the 17th minute if they don't engage soon. Maybe they'll have to just give this one and hope that they can defend if they're behind their keep.
Oh, sorry about that, folks. I had a not so much technical issue as an animal issue on the other side. I wasn't able to keep the Met. Here, let me give you Stoic's camera real quick while I solve this problem.
Yrel looking to jump, but blue team is just sticking around together as now they have the Triglav and they're walking it down bottom. Red team's getting organized up in the middle lane as they're hoping to get 20, just trying to stall every last moment. It doesn't look like they're going to have it here as blue team pushes onto this bottom. Keep gets about 60% of its health almost instantly. This Triglav is taking a lot of damage as well, though. Looks like red team's going to be able to live to fight another day. Blue team takes that red keep there. Yrel is just wailing away on this Triglav.
And a really solid defense for Pixie Duster on that Triglav. They did lose their keep, but it's post-level 20, so you kind of expect that to happen with that third Triglav Protector. But they do come back in. They still have a turret. And Nsomnia making a bold move onto the Pixie Duster's turret. Since both teams do have level 20 now, we can see that hard engage coming in. And the death metal on the ETC, so he can mosh twice here effectively if he can get the engage. And the Warden's Cage comes out, pulls the entire rest of Pixie Dusters in. Everybody just getting melted. There goes the death metal on a 4-man. Rhaegar rather, not able to really do much with it though, as the rest of his team is dead. The death metal more of an escape tool. And Battle Puppy will live to see another fight.
Yeah, I don't know if this core will, though.
No, I don't either.
Warden's Cage sundering in an alley like that is exactly what our blue team was looking for, to be able to close out game number 1 on Volskaya Foundry.
Absolutely.
This puppy looks agitated as he watches, unable to heal his core.
Just like a puppy inside, agitated, watching the mailman take whatever it is that's in that mysterious box outside the door as well. Yes.
Nsomnia, coming for your mail. You better watch out.
So, very decisive game 1.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And my cat is continually just knocking over this poster because he has nothing better to do than look out the window that's behind it. So, that's going to be fun. There we go. There's solid production value for you right there. Good game, though. It was fun to watch. It was really good to see how Nsomnia took control of the map and held on to it. They were very careful about their engages, and they tried to make sure they did not make mistakes that Pixie Dusters could engage on.
Yeah, I think you're right. Something interesting to think about here, I think this is kind of the story of this game, is if you look at French's talent selection as Li Ming, he took Glass Cannon at 13, where usually I feel that people take, I think it's Illusionist, for that safety. But French feeling really confident in saying, you know what, I'm not going to get shot. I'll just take extra damage here.
Yeah,
And able
I'm a
to use
big
that.
fan of the glass cannon. This build has me a little confused, though. Not gonna lie.
What's confusing you about it?
Um, the power hungry I get, the dominance makes sense going into Calamity, and then I would expect to at least see. So Illusionist is nice because of the reset and the range to get that hard engage with the Calamity, and the diamond skin at 16 gives you that shield when you jump in. But this, I mean, true to the talent, Glass Cannon going Mirror Ball at level 16, just full damage. So it's, I don't know, it just, I feel like with the Calamity, you want a little bit more synergy with it, but this is just balls to the wall of a all-in Li Ming.
Yeah, I think the synergy here is with Glass Cannon and Dominance saying, you know what, if you hurt me, that's fine. I'll heal it up because I'm about to kill you with these 5 magic missiles and this wave of force and this calamity and my orb.
Yeah, so we might have a next map, but we're still waiting on the official decision from Pixie Dusters. So that didn't matter. And except I did take away the stat page, and that's unfortunate. So Pixie Dusters coming in at an advantage for this match are coming in at a disadvantage for the match overall, and they seem to kind of, well, Insomnia did a really good job in outpacing them throughout that game. So Insomnia sitting really comfortable. How does Pixie Dusters get back in?
It's a good question. They're going to be here on Sky Temple looking to make their comeback. Also, another map that neither team has played this season, if I'm checking my stat sheet. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I lied. Insomnia has won on this map, but Pixie Dusters has not even played yet on this map. So I think that they're going to need to find a way to keep up in team fights. Um, they got the good pick on Taronda during the objective, but then they lost a couple of big team fights. So I think that they're going to need to maybe take away some of these scary tools. Like Solian looking pretty scary on that Maiev. And French played a great mage in Li Ming. So maybe they're looking to take one of those mages away and maybe try and deny that Bruiser Maiev who really was just so disruptive.
What's happening? I don't know what's happening. Sorry, there's some confusion going on in the lobby, and it's very entertaining. Yeah, the Maiev comboed really hard, basically on her own, with the follow-up from Taronde and Joanna, of course. But Maiev, kind of just a one-man show. Probably going to be banned out for this next map.
Yeah, I think it sounds like we have a little bit of confusing of does Pixie Dusters want first pick or Mac pick?
Yeah. Good guy Stoic coming in with the clarity. All right. Pixie Dusters are taking first pick. No map pick. No. Oh wait. Maybe.
So maybe we're not going to Sky Temple. Maybe Pixie Dusters is going to choose Towers of Doom, where they picked up their win against Parsley, Snag, Rosemary, and Line. Or maybe they're going to stick on Sky Temple, a big, strong macro map where they can maybe avoid some of Insomnia's scary teamfight synergy.
Yeah, so
You know, pat
more.
myself on the back as I called it. It looks to me like Pixie Dusters wants to go to Towers of Doom.
Uh-oh.
That's what I
Uh-oh.
get for doing my homework.
Yes. Everybody do your homework so you can grow up to be big and smart like Stoic. Stoic
Yep.
is Stoic really showing that stoicism. Is that the verb form of Stoic?
Well, that would
I
be
mean the
the
adjective form of
that
Stoic.
would be
You know
the
what? Shut up.
adjective form. Yes,
Is
but
it
yes, you're
is
right.
it Stoic already adjective?
Stoic is an adjective. Yes.
And
Wait, no. Stoicism is a noun.
oh yeah, I guess it would be the ideological thing.
Yeah, Stoicism is a noun. I'm embarrassed as a former English teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah, after some interesting confusion, it looks like we'll be going to Towers of Doom, which is a map that Pixie Dusters took their first win of the season against Parsley, Snag, Rosemary, and Lion. But Insomnia has yet to play.
Interesting. Towers of Doom, kind of a fear map for a lot of teams. Usually taken out during the bans, but most teams do seem to want to avoid the Towers of Doom deathmatch. It's just an awkward play style, but I feel like if you can play Towers of Doom well, then that really demonstrates your map presence and your team fight capability. And it's just an all around good mechanical map because it's really hard to straight up cheese. You can't just rely on pushing one lane the whole way in or something like that. You need to really hold the map. You need to hold the objectives. And do we have a lobby yet?
Yeah, join off me.
Okay, I was like, where is this thing?
Yeah, Tacos of Doom. Towers of Doom definitely sitting in the
Tacos of
second
Doom. I
tier.
like it. It's permanent. That's the thing. Here we
Okay,
are.
so
We're going to Tacos of Doom.
Tacos of Doom is a kind of in that second tier of beloved NGS maps. Only 29 games so far played on Towers of Doom.
I was looking at the
It's
tool and I was like, why can't I find Tacos of Doom?
Tacos.
So anyway, it's a beloved NGS map.
Well, I'd say it's less than. It's definitely it's 29 maps or 29 matches so far played on Towers of Doom. So it's a little bit under, the average of Volskaya with 41 and Infernal Shrines with 53. So definitely more than Sky Temple, which has only been played 6 times in NGS. Towers of Doom sit right in the middle, about 29.
Yeah, I mean it's a good map. There are some teams that really like it because of map pressure. Because map pressure still does translate directly into objective control, but you have to play it better, right? So there are teams that really excel with that. Whereas if maybe that's not your strength, it's also easier to force fights if that's what you're trying to do. So really versatile playstyles that come into it, but you still overall need to be fairly solid on both your macro and your micro play for Towers of Doom. I'm going to stick with that.
No, I think that's fair. I think, interestingly enough, Towers of Doom also one of the shorter maps on average.
As far as game length?
As far as game length, yeah. At about 18 minutes is the NGS average for Towers of Doom.
18 minutes. Well, if Pixie Dusters can secure some tacos of Doom, and we can go see a game 3, we can maybe add to some more statistics, huh? I know you like statistics, so I'm looking out for you here.
Yeah, this is thank you. Actually, I think Pixie Dusters and Insomnia came together to say, let's give Stoic a chance to just keep reading statistics.
Right. We're gonna start some form of Stoic and statistics blended together. Super Med Man, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you, bud. And chat wondering if we're going to see Medivh from Solian this series. We saw him on the Maiev, absolutely destructive, and the Medivh apparently also to be feared. So let's find out. I know a great way for us to find out.
Is it to play this game? Because I'm waiting.
It's absolutely to play this game. And it's also to answer the poll in the chat.
Taco is loving his polls.
I am. I think they're a great way to engage our audience.
I think you're right. They definitely are. We're ready.
Are we ready? All right. Un momento.
Oh, I just said ready for
That's,
us.
you
because
know
I wanna
what?
get
That's
going.
fine.
You're making a poll. You'll be okay.
No, well, I'm doing a broadcast, but same thing.
Oh, same thing.
Speaking of the poll, as we go into the draft, so far,
Medivh fan
71% think that we will get to see a Medivh, but it's not coming this game. So Pixie Dusters better take this match to game 3 if we want to see that Medivh come out.
Quick Zul ban. And Abathur ban as well.
Abathur, really strong band this season overall. A lot of presence. As I reset my set, now that the cat is out of the room, thank you to the wife for the rescue. Not the rescue. It's a cat. It's, what is going on? Anyway. Everything going the exact way that I expected it to with my stream today. Thank you, Rhaegar. Deathwing coming out as a ban as well. Pretty memey bans up there. Medivh a target ban over, but Zul, Abba, and Deathwing not surprising bans right now.
Johanna, the first lock once again for Nsomnia.
So you pronounce the H, huh?
Johanna?
Mm-hmm.
Joanna?
See, I say Joanna, but you say Johanna? Pink
Yeah,
Blackout, welcome to the channel. Thanks for the follow. Also, thanks for the reminder to send out my broadcast. But we went into draft just too soon for me to actually get it out. But thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, I think it's actually pronounced Johanna Mara Temple is her full name.
Johanna Mira Temple. Ah.
Yes. So that's why I make sure I get that H in there. KT and Lucio picked up for Pixie Dusters, so looking to go for a little bit of a different route. Instead of a battle puppy, you have a battle DJ.
Absolutely. I think it'd be really awesome to have another sound-based hero, and then we could have Ant versus Ant battles between Boostio and whoever that hero is. Here comes the Maiev again for Solian. I'm actually kind of surprised they banned the Deathwing instead of the Maiev based off of last game, but
Deathwing is pretty annoying on this map specifically because he can just kind of stop the objective channel.
Yes.
And he likes to get those small corridors where he can just kind of flame things down.
Yes, Deathwing definitely a flaming dragon will roast you anytime he gets the chance. Li Ming, respect ban coming out, she was also destructive. That's the one. And Garrosh being banned out from Nsomnia, and chat finding this draft to be quite spicy. And the GG is already going out, unless the GG is referring to the good game of Final Fantasy VII.
Maybe. Let's see here.
Let's see if I can make this work. Falstad and Anubret coming out. Good mobility, some decent disruption, especially with the Gus. We might be seeing Gus come out to help counter the engage coming from the Maiev.
Yeah, that's true. You can't follow up on a Warden's Cage if your whole team is pushed away.
No, absolutely not.
Also, Falstad providing some great utility in his global, able to soak a lane and get to an objective, or to cap an objective and then get back to a lane.
Absolutely. Jaina and Thrall coming out to finish up the draft for Insomnia. Leoric coming up. We see a lot of Leoric on Towers of Doom. So,
Yeah. The Leoric
yeah.
Falstad combo is a strong one in that Leoric could double soak a lane, and Falstad could quickly get to an objective or be pushing a fort. And I love having the double soak possibility as well as the global here. Really a strong macro showing, I think, for our red team.
Yeah, really interested to see the comp work out. But as Spincar let us, or has backed us up on, this is gonna be a good one, boys. Ferda boys. Ferda. All right, so Stoic, as I do the poll, I want your opinion.
On
Who drafted better? The standard coming out of the draft poll.
I think if I was looking at these two drafts, independent of the match we just watched, I would say that the blue team has the better draft here.
Okay.
Knowing that the blue team was already showing very strong on the Maiev Johanna combo, I actually like what the red team can do here in that avoid and play to the strengths of the battleground. So I think that the red team again has a clear path to victory as I can see it, and I'm rooting for Pixie Dusters here to take us into Game 3.
Even though you think that Insomnia has the better draft.
I'm going to say that Pixie Dust has the better draft in context because they can avoid the scary team fight that the blue team drafted for.
Speaking of that blue team, go ahead.
Let's say the blue team doesn't get a team fight, the red team can win in macro pressure.
Yeah, speaking of the team fight that the blue team drafted for, Psycho on Stukov, Speed Demon on Thrall, Solian on the Maiev, Logicala on Joanna, and French on Jaina. What do we got, Stoic?
For the red team, Pixie Dusters, Obsidian Mind playing Anubarak, Paper Tanks playing Falstead, Corey's playing Kael'thas, Battle Puppet playing Lucio, and Brosaya playing Leoric. Maiev looking for her first tether of the game. No real lasting damage here as both teams are going to look to rotate to their lanes. Red team going down, looking to interrupt and slow the blue team's rotation here. Anubarak leading the charge, looking to zone as they get a quick clear. Both teams looking to quickly clear. And return to the middle lane. And then I imagine that they'll both head back to start capping these siege camps in the next 3 or 4 seconds here.
Absolutely. I thought I had my camera on a follow and it didn't work, so sorry about that blind spot for a second, folks. As for the chat, there is now a new poll up. Go which team? This is your who's your favorite team opportunity. As Anubarak gets an engage on Logic, taking out the Joanna, Falstad with the finish. She had her iron skin down, not able to finish, getting away. And first blood goes to Pixie Dusters. They're looking to come back strong into this game.
Yeah. Blue team looking to grab that camp now. Just a little bit late after a skirmish in the mid lane. Red team opting to get this bottom soak. As Kael'thas looks to be wanting it. He's asking for help. He's got the bomb out. And there we go. We'll see a quick clear here from the red team.
Yeah, both siege camps getting picked up early on. I say siege, they're sapper camps, but they're labeled siege camps. They do things.
They do things.
They do things. And they know stuff.
So here we're seeing this Leoric pulling off his double soaking, requiring Thrall to hold in the top and Johanna to keep leading her team to go mid. And that lack of pressure is allowing the blue sappers to get mostly cleared.
Yeah, we do see a 4v3 though as Jaina's trying to come back. Bomb out on the Joanna. Joanna taking some heavy damage though. And Maiev engaging on the Anubarak. She gets knocked up as the Anubarak bounces back. A good barb coming out to disrupt what he knows is an engage upon him. As the first set of altars are coming up. Stoic, if you could help me out with the middle altar down at the bottom, I will show Thrall and Leoric trading altars up here at the top.
All right, red team is looking to set up on top and bottom of this. At the top and the side, rather.
And claim the altars in my name.
Interesting. We see a three-man rotate. I say three-man. Leoric's already up there, up to the top, and Leoric going to actually try to disrupt the Thrall. And it looks like Pixie Dusters trying to go hard on this first objective and not do the standard trade, but get an advantage instead. Leoric chasing off the Thrall. Falstad in the mid lane. And apparently they did cap the middle objective already.
Yeah, Lucio, I think, missed a basic attack there as he's targeting swaps for just a moment, and Johanna was able to finish that channel.
Interesting. So the aggressive play for all three altars, and they end up only getting one. Pixie Dusters, a bold move, but definitely trying to make themselves known here in this game. They're not here to, well, they showed up. They came here to play, and they're trying to make that statement right now. So they have a 4v3 opportunity in the mid lane. Jaina occupied by Leoric and Thrall up at the top, but Falstad going down for the clear instead. Still a 4v3 that Maev's going to engage on, however. Both teams level 7. Jaina makes it down. We got a 4v4. Johanna going down off of the Maev engage. That got turned back around.
Oh, and it looks like Jaina will die as well.
Fire does melt ice, my friend. So I believe Kael'thas is supposed to win every single one of those exchanges unless he gets cooled off. So he does unless he doesn't, right? That's how it works.
That is, I think that's how the things go.
All right. Well, the things and stuff do have effects. So let's watch them and see what they are.
Red team takes these sapper camps, and this top, when a camp is stolen, those go right under that top tower. So now it looks to me like the red team has a slight structure advantage.
Yep, Falstad getting his sapper camp. The rest of his team comes to help. Battle Puppy in with the boosts. And they're going to cap the sapper camp. They did manage to take both sapper camps about 30 seconds apart. Really big steal and bonus cap for Pixie Dusters. And look for them, once Falstad flies up, they'll just go ahead and trade objectives up here. Falstad trying to get those sappers in instead. Reasonable exchange. Overall net value to Pixie Dusters, assuming Falstad can get those sappers to charge just like that. They all three take down the gate, and that's progress for Pixie Dusters.
Yeah, interesting. Looking at this Falstad, he's actually opted to go for the Wingman, the Bribe quest, here at level 1, which it might just be for the Lightning Rod cooldown reduction, but maybe he's looking to just fly up and steal a camp to help Leoric pressure in this top lane.
Not only does it reduce Lightning Rod's cooldown, but don't forget, every time he uses a stack of Bribe, he gains 5% damage on that Lightning Rod. And it looks like by an 80% to 20% vote, go Nsomnia from the chat. But I like game 3s, so go Pixie Dusters.
And if I had to choose from right now, I would say that Pixie Dusters is in a strong position here.
Absolutely.
A whole level lead.
They have the heroics.
Well,
now both teams have heroics, but heroics are a thing.
But they're on the path to having their level 20 upgrades faster.
Absolutely, they are still a level up, and maybe they focus on getting the experience lead and holding it instead of trying to force fights. But if you have those talent tier advantages, that's the time to force a fight.
Yep.
All right, next objective is on the clock now, and it will be all around the murder lane down bot. Engage onto Johanna. She's going to Iron Skin to get out. All heroics are still up. No one trying to commit to that fight, just trying to get what they can. And both teams rotate down as objectives are about to pop.
Yeah, if red team chooses to take a fight here, Falstad will be able to fly and get there faster than Thrall will, and possibly use that gust to set up for future picks. Leoric almost finishes his channel there. KT looks like he'll complete his channel in the bottom lane.
Yeah, Pixie Dusters evening up the core skill, or the core score, as Maev gets cocooned and Nubrek going in on the rest of the team, trying to get her out. Maev pops out. There's the Warden's Cage, and the Phoenix comes out. And Nubrek, Leoric, and Boostio falling. Balsat trying to get out, maybe get a channel up, but he's not able to. A 4-for-1 for Nsomnia, evening up the kill count, and they're going to cap this altar, maintaining a 4 core health lead.
Yeah, I thought that was about to go the other way, but it looks like Lucio could not get his sound barrier off in time. which could have turned the tide of that fight.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting a sound barrier off right there, that is so much effective healing. A 2,000 point shield. That disrupts a lot of damage coming out from Nsomnia, and him being disrupted long enough to not be able to get that channel completed. Really, really good effect for Nsomnia.
Oh.
They are fighting over what looks to be nothing in the bottom lane. Lucio and Anubret getting out with no health, just enough to stay alive, which I hear is 1. As the Phoenix comes out for defense from Kel'Thas, but that fort will fall. Nsomnia getting control of the bottom lane, and that is where you really want to have control on this map because of how the 2 altars are down bot.
Yeah, bottom lane definitely a priority here. I think Pixie Dusters looking to take a couple of fights there that did not turn in their favor. I'd like to see them go back to just that macro pressure. That's just me, though. We'll see how they decide to keep running this game here. As the next altar spawns bottom, and Blue has a commanding advantage to get a free cap there.
Absolutely. Pixie Dusters are not going to be able to get around this fort, really. They only have one point of access coming in, and that's through this channel that they're walking through. And that's their only way to retreat as well, unless they go all the way up top to their middle fort. And but they are looking to make an engage as they wrap all the way around Nsomnia. We see the Wraith Walk from the Leoric. Valsad able to bolt out. The Entomb comes out a huge wall, catching the Stukov, who then gets cocooned. Almost a rescue on the Stukov, but he might not be able to get out as Jaina falls as well to the Maiev. Or rather, to the Lucio. Maiev finishing her quest, and then I missed all the skills that got cast, but Red Team getting annihilated again. 3 kills for Nsomnia to the loss of Jaina. Maiev going to cap right here, and that's going to be a 5-shot altar. That fight just started slow and then just rapidly accelerated.
They had what looked like could have been a good fight for them, but then it just kind of swung in Blue's favor, and that's been the story of this series, is Blue Team just commanding in these team fights. Pixie Dusters opting to fight there, losing the altar, and not making any progress on getting their bottom fort down. Blue Team now is going to start sending sappers down this lane.
Yep, really good about getting those camps, and Pixie Dusters really trying to get this fort back. That does need to be their next objective, especially because we have another altar about to spawn in the bot lane, as well as the standard top lane altars.
Ooh, yeah, but that bottom one is... Every time that bottom spawns, that's pretty free for our Blue Team here. Oof, Maiev is just grabbing people.
There goes the flailing swipe, disengaging Pixie Dusters to get Jaina out, but Joanna going in instead, about to wear out Anubrak. A huge dive from Maiev across the deadline to pull back almost the entire team, but they still managed to survive. Awesome potential coming out of that fight for Nsomnia, but Pixie Dusters able to keep themselves alive. Really good break for them, and maybe they'll be able to come back with some sort of advantage off of this set of altars.
Also, excellent burst healing on this Stukov. I mean, that Jaina was so low, and for Stukov to have timed his kill switch in the right moment and also to have held that cooldown, I mean, great work keeping his team alive and healthy.
Yeah, Stukov has over a third healing numbers lead on the Lucio. Really good use of his trait. Really good awareness with the healing, and it looks like Pixie Dusters is going to go 2 for 1 on these altars. A good opportunity to help them get back in the game. However, they lose 5 points and take 6, so they still net the advantage there, but not quite as potent as they could have been, as Falstad is down in the bot lane defending Sappers from getting 3 points of damage onto the core as well. Really good play for them on the point, but it looks like Nsomnia is going for the boss as well. Leoric starting to scout it out, decides he doesn't want to play with that. 4 more altar shots, or core shots rather, for Nsomnia, and they're going to be up 22-9 right now. So all they need right now is 2 altars if they can hold on to this bottom keep.
Also, extreme confidence in taking the boss rather than defending here their bottom lane. We'll see if Red Team can use that as a way to punish. and come back in this
Possibly.
game.
And I'd almost like to see them leave that tower upright. Oh, it does fall. And the Entomb goes out on the Joanna. Joanna unable to get out. She does unstoppable for the shield, and it might be enough to get her out by just about the amount of that shield. She gets disrupted by the Anubrak, and the Flame Strike finishes her off. Falstad getting caught by the Maev and then able to dash out, barrel roll.
Oh,
And KT
Stukov
getting caught by the one-armed bandit of Stukov, who then pays the price to Lucio.
punches him to death.
He hits like a Mack truck. If you've never been
like a butcher.
auto-attacked by a Stukov, I envy you.
Yeah, wow. So interesting trade here. A positive trade for the Pixie Dusters, as it was a 2-for-1.
Yes.
Structure's now even. Singular altar here spawning that they will have an advantage, a numbers advantage, to begin this fight.
Joanna will be able to get there fairly quickly, though, as she's about to spawn and then come through the tunnel, coming up over the top right here. So look out for that. Maev trying to get some poke out. We do see a skirmish up here top between Thrall and Leoric. Leoric about to come down to help his team. Nubrak needs to finish this right. There it goes. Joanna not able to get there quite in time, as the rest of her team does not want to disrupt. And now Pixie Dust is only down by half of Nsomnia's core health. They are making a comeback fairly well. If they can keep up this play, they could send us to game 3.
Yeah, I think this is the possibility here. They have game is stabilized. They're behind on points, but we've shown that blue team is willing to give up that bottom fort. So maybe red team has a chance now to take the fort of their own.
Absolutely, but you have to keep in mind: is that fort worth the 4 shots from the boss? Now, granted, the last shot is all that matters. So, maybe, but maybe not, because they would need to get that. They would need to get 4 altars with that fort to make the exchange with the boss worth it. Assuming that what Pixie Dusters gets with it is not enough to win. So an interesting balance of power structure power. As the KT falls to the root from Thrall, cocoon on the Thrall as the Phoenix wears out. Interesting use of ults right there. I think there was a miscommunication, however. Thrall, big brain play, dodging the Phoenix by getting wrapped up in Anubrak's heroic.
Oof.
There goes
with
the
this
fort
bottom
again.
fort falling. Blue team now is in lethal range. With a hero down at level 20s, they could end this game right here and shut down Pixie Duster's chance for a comeback.
And they got the fort back.
Yep.
So here comes this next set of altars. Kael'thas will be down. It is going to be a 5v4. Look for Maev to completely disrupt this altar cap for Pixie Dusters. Probably a 4-man engage on the enemy altar instead, while just Thrall caps. So long enough to delay so they can force a fight over the second altar. Falstad does need to get up top. He's not going to be able to get this fort in time to stop the first cap, which means the second cap, this fort doesn't really matter. They just need it. Falstad needs to go to the top altar. Kael'thas joining his team. So this is still going to be a 4v5 best case scenario until Falstad flies, which here it comes. Maybe Falstad working his way up. He's about to fly. Maybe get a nice gust into the rest of his team. And the wind tunnel suppressed by the Iron Skin Unstoppable. Joanna's still going to fall, though. Thrall finishing his Echo of the Elements. Falstad, Leoric, Kale, everybody except for Anubrak goes down. Here goes Anubrak as well. A 5 for 1 at the loss of Joanna. Nsomnia finishing out this game right now. GG Nsomnia. Great execution on that last fight.
Yeah, well played. Nsomnia really showing their team fight prowess here in these 2 games. Showing like a top team in Division A.
Absolutely. Well, they are currently the top team in Division A East.
A East.
I'm
saying I'm going so far as to say a top team in all of Division A.
In all of Division A. Well, don't tell A West, because I don't think they'd like to hear that, but definitely bringing a performance that could back up that statement. Let's see if we can get someone from Nsomnia in a lobby chat. I will see you there.
Sounds good.
All right, and Um, so, oh, and we see Psycho asking chat who they want for the interview. Look at the play. Okay. Well, already getting some Psycho. Let me see if I can get a poll up real quick. New poll. Interview. Psycho. Speed. Logic. Solian. French.
Not only are they players of the game, but there sounds like they're players of the people here.
Absolutely. Way to bring it. We see some votes. Polls up. And we see a commanding lead of everybody at 1 vote except for Speed. Here comes Solian coming in. And I'll let it run for a couple of minutes. While we let that poll run, what do you think of the matchup overall? And especially the discrepancy, or the stat page, for one. As I mentioned the stat page, I'm going to show the talents.
Yeah, stat page, I think it tells the story of how this game went. You had Leoric and Thrall were the soakers, but it comes down to like the fact that the blue team just had those kills. Red team had a moment to come back there, but I think the team fight again from Insomnia was just devastating. I mean, you had the Warden's Cage into the Sundering, into the Jaina Blizzard falling down, and the Maiev with the pulls and getting a lot of value out of Fan of Knives. The Stukov with the silence in the middle of there, getting those roots. Man, that was blue team's team fight was so strong. Johanna dying 4 times, but like she was making sure she took them 2 or 3 down with her every time.
Yeah, absolutely. And let me hide the lack of view. A HOTS player that feeds. Yeah, what I also find interesting is how well Pixie Dusters came back in that game. They really showed up, and unfortunately weren't quite able to execute there at the end. But I feel like that second game, they really did kind of belong. They struggled early on, and I think that's what did them in. But if you just looked at the second half of that game, they absolutely belonged to be in that game. And so I was really kind of hoping they could make something work with it. Also because I like game 3s, but that's a personal thing. But it was really nice to see how they kind of recovered from a really hard loss in the first game. I do have good news, however. We do have Solian in the chat. Even though now some people in chat saying they want to talk to a 4-death Joanna, I don't think those exist. So we'll talk to Solian, the power play Maiev, who if we didn't know how supports worked in this game, could be said to have carried the match. Solian, how are you?
I'm great. Yeah.
What?
Some fun games.
What a match. So you didn't get to play the Medivh. Were you planning on playing the Medivh?
If it was open, yeah. I'm always up for Medivh. It's just a fun character.
But apparently so is Maiev. Look at those combos.
Oh yeah, it's another I don't know, I guess pocket pick. I play like a bit like more odd characters, I guess, or you don't see too much. So.
I honestly expected them to leave Deathwing open and ban both the Medivh and the Maiev. And chat was really excited to see a Medivh play, so I think y'all should have thrown game 2 to play Medivh game 3.
Yeah, no, we were talking about it all, like the different the games, how they get gone, whether we could get it or not, but yeah.
I gotcha. So, a good sweep, a really nice sweep. You guys are ranked number 1 in A East, and I think this win is just going to help solidify that. And Stoic thinks that y'all might be the best team in A all around. How does that sound?
That sounds really fun, but
Does it sound accurate?
haven't seen all the other teams, but yeah, like we've been playing like pretty solid. Overall, I'm really impressed at how all of us are doing. But to be honest, like all of our other games have been like, or all the games for the most part have been like pretty close. Like in this, everyone for the most part like super one-sided. So I think wait till the end before giving us the title.
Yeah. So tell us about your drafting in that first game. That first game, it looks. Honestly, I thought Pixie Dusters had a really good draft to go into it. A solid engage with the ability to pick off anybody out of position. especially with the
Mhm.
Rhaegar, with the Bloodlust and the slows from Jaina, and Greymane just murderous. How did y'all avoid, or tell us about your draft in relation to that, and then how you adjusted your playstyle based off of the 2 drafts, if that makes
Okay.
sense.
Yeah. So for the first game or both games, we first picked or like grabbed the Joe,
Mm-hmm.
and Joe's just all around fits into like almost any comp, just solid. So then we can like kind of sit back and see what they pick, and they picked like 2 squishies for the most part, the most time. So after that, we immediately were just looking for Maiev, because um even if they get like a pick or blow someone up like really low, it's really hard to like avoid the combo at that point and just getting blown up, because
Oh,
blowing up
yeah.
one person is not equivalent to blowing up 5.
Right. Well, you were getting a little shade from chat earlier on in
Hmm?
that first game because apparently you were missing some cues.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, I whiffed quite a bit, but yeah,
So,
as long as you get
oh,
the big gauge,
right.
that's all that matters.
Um, yeah. I mean, and you got those really big engages. You had the Umbral Bind into the Warden's Cage, and then Starfall on top of it with Joanna just kind of as cleanup CC. So the draft really, the team comp really worked out as long as you got the engage and were able to stay away from the Bloodlust pretty much. Yeah. So game 2, um, you got you got an early advantage. They tried to sweep the 3 altars and got pushed off, and they committed too much to the top lane and weren't able to get it. So I ended up going ahead there. But then they started to come back towards the end. Were y'all starting to get worried? What were comms like when they started taking a fight, taking some altars, and looked like they were really back in the game?
um, well, comps were pretty like normalish. Like we try not to get down when we're like behind or not, 'cause that doesn't really help the situation. But
Right.
yeah. So pretty much the whole time we're just playing for the combo. If we get the combo, we're golden. Otherwise, not so golden. But so all those other in between parts, they definitely add up. But for the most part, we're just kind of sitting back waiting for those golden moments.
Okay. Stoic,
Just
what you got,
waiting
man?
for 'em.
Smiley says that you guys are a team that took a break since season 6. Is that correct?
Yeah, I believe so. I think it's about that long.
So you guys came back strong, like you'd never left. What was the cause for a break? What was the cause for the break, if you don't mind sharing, and what brought you guys back?
Oh, well, I don't know for all the members, but for the most part, me personally, I just kind of played like League and some other games for a bit. I played like HOTS for a couple of years, and yeah, so decided to switch things up, and yeah, decided to come back. So, really fun, as the team environment. Just yeah.
Yeah, and is this the same squad that played season 6 as now plays in season 9?
Um, I think it's changed slightly through the years. There's like a really old season of heroic difficulty I was on, and since they're very like that was like the first team I ever played on, and since then we've only changed one member, so it's almost the exact same team from back then. But for the most part, all of us have played on similar teams,
Wow,
so we're all very
awesome.
familiar.
Uh, my thinking about that is the synergy that you guys played with was so strong. Almost like I bet comms could have been quiet and you still would have hit these combos because they were just on point every time. If your ults came out, the red team was dying. So it was just really great execution. Seeming like you're a team that's been playing for a long time.
Oh yeah, yeah. We tend to gravitate towards like Wombo combo teams. We play them like a ton. Um, they're just really fun to pull off and just watch. So we tend to gravitate towards those.
It definitely
And
made for
so,
some great entertainment here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a very important question for you, Solian.
sure.
The Thrall player. What is the correct way to say his name, and why is he a Pokemon?
Oh yeah, there's a bit of debate on how to properly say his name. Some say Speedyman, others say Speed Demon. Um,
Earlier I said Speedman or Speedymon. Speedymon, like a yeah. So what does he say?
I think Speed Demon, but
Speed Demon.
we kind of joke around and say Speedyman.
Okay. The other thing, so you seem to be, are you also a Tracer main? Is that what I'm getting from chat? Is that you play a lot of Tracer?
I do play a lot of Tracer. Like, if I were to like main characters, probably Tracer and Kel'Thuzad are like way up there.
What is your opinion on the rework?
I absolutely love it. They just made so many quality of life changes to Tracer. Because before she was like kind of only viable with like Passadar. And since the rework, she just wasn't a character for the most part. And now this huge rework, it's they combined a bunch of different talents. And it's amazing. I'm playing it a bunch.
Speedymon in the chat coming in with the Speed Demon. I don't know what that's in reference to, but Speedymon saying Speed Demon. Also, someone else in chat wants to know, what's your ideal Sunday?
My ideal Sunday?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Wake up, have some waffles. Waffles are real great, and yeah, just honestly just play like a couple games, go outside, and mostly game though. Do you really like gaming?
Okay, yeah. This sounds nice and relaxing. Perfect. Good food. Stoic, did you have anything else you wanted to ask?
No, I just wanted to hear about season 6, and I got it.
All right. I'm going to ask you something I asked actually a little bit. I think I asked it yesterday to someone, but I want to ask you because I think all your fans in chat would like to know, if you had a superpower, what superpower would it be, and no infinite wish type loopholes?
Ooh, okay. To be honest, I really like any time controller power. I think those are crazy hype. And
The person I asked yesterday said time travel. Huh.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah,
you mean more like Doctor Strange type time things, or?
Yeah, that sort of thing.
Okay.
I think
Not
just
time
any
travel
kind
itself.
of thing power to do with time, I find super intriguing.
Interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
so now that we've established that, if you were to put a handicap on that type of power so as not to make you overpowered or a superhero necessarily, just like a regular guy with a quirk, what would the handicap on your time manipulation be? Let me give you an example. It's a weird question, so let me give you an example. If I had the power to teleport, I would end up 6 feet above the ground wherever I teleported to.
Okay. Hmm.
And then naturally fall.
I think like something like really weird would be kind of fun. It's like, oh, I would have to run and complete like a marathon before using it each time. Just, just like a
Oh,
really odd,
you would
like,
have
long
to run
lengthy.
See, that's a good condition. You would have to run a marathon in order to use your ability. How long does it enable that ability?
Oh, like I would have to like use it like after or something like that. So it's just like I want to go to the past and just I gotta go run the marathon.
Okay,
And then
so
just
it's almost like part of the channel.
yeah. It's the
Okay,
channel.
gotcha. All right, I love it. Solian, fantastic match overall. Thank you for putting up with the ridiculous questions. Let's get to your
Okay.
shoutouts.
Okay, sure. Well, first off, obviously, shout out my team.
Of course.
Played really well. Really happy. Thanks for Speed for subbing again. Had a bit of a thrall slave, but shout out to Jamster since he couldn't be here. Shout out the other team. They played really well. Had a great time, and shout out you guys for casting.
Oh, I
having
love
casting.
it. Stoic's been loving it too, but he can speak for himself. I really enjoy doing it. It's definitely. I don't know if my wife would agree with the great use of my time, but I love spending my time doing it.
There's definitely some entertaining games tonight. Very fun play.
All right. Well, Solian, why don't you go hang out with your team and celebrate? Don't celebrate too hard. It's not the weekend yet, but a fantastic showing from Nsomnia. And to the chat, I'm going to send y'all over to someone in a second. I'm not sure who, but in 1 hour, we're coming back with a Division C West game, -10 armor versus Venus and the Clouded Mines. It's gonna be fun. There's gonna be shade, so bring it on back in about an hour. Yeah, Stoic. While I'm finding who we're gonna raid, would you give me your closing thoughts on this match?
Yep, definitely. Do you want to just do it here in this lobby, or you want to go to a different call?
Let's just do it in this lobby. That's all right.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure Solian wasn't here. Yeah, I think it was Insomnia really showing why they're a top team in Division A East. Really a strong contender than this whole season. Getting this domination tonight over Pixie Dusters, well deserved. Their play was very well coordinated. Pixie Dusters put on a good showing as well. I think they had some chances here, but a strong play by Insomnia kind of held them out of what they were looking to do. I think both teams are two good teams, and looking for future weeks to have more exciting Heroes of the Storm action coming out of A East.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. And a lot of technical play on demonstration by pretty much all of the players coming out of Insomnia. It's what you would expect to see out of a team that looks like they may be trying to push into heroic next season. And I'm definitely interested to see what they can do moving forward. With that, we are going to go to Just Key, who is casting Team Happy Cloud versus Parsley and Words. So I believe you have the entire team name, Stoic.
Yeah, parsley, snag, rosemary, and lime.
There you go. So with that mouthful, we'll see you in about an hour. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to